Park. This is University of Delaware women's basketball. As tonight, the Hens have their first rematch of the season, and they welcome the Northeastern Huskies to the Bob Carpenter Center in Newark. I'm Matt Janis alongside Christine Coramata, Jay Hollahan back at our Newcastle studios. Our starting lineups for this one. First for Delaware in the backcourt. Sydney Boone runs the point. Grace Sunback and Tara Cousins joins her. Chloe Wilson and Clark Sconyers are in the front court for the home team Hens. Meanwhile, for Northeastern, they're led by Darren Erdogan, who had 32 in the first matchup against Delaware. Yursi Kalish is the second guard, and Maddie Visa gets to start as the third guard. Jalen Batts and Deja Bristol in the front court. Uniform report brought to you by Delaware Hair & Company. The Hens in the home whites, Northeastern in the road reds. Huskies will move left to right, and they will get the basketball to begin the contest. As on the bounce, it is Kelly who's trying to get into the offense for Northeastern. Finds Antoine on the near wing. Entry feed on the right block to Bristol. Goes along the lane. Powers up with the left hand, too strong. Rebound grab by Chloe Wilson. Long outlet to Sydney Boone, and the Hens will run some offense.
Delaware starting out in that man-to-man defense.
And it's a nice pass inside as Boone is able to find Clark Sconyers, and Delaware's up 2-0.
Just a great two-man game, a simple pick and roll.
And now cross-court feed, near wing. It is Visa passing up the three, finding Erdogan, who will trigger the offense for the Huskies. Crossover move to the foul line, kicks it out left wing. Open shot, Calise knocks it down, and just into the starting lineup, and showing why 3-2 Northeastern lead.
And that's exactly what we talked about in the pregame, was Erdogan will penetrate and kick, and Delaware has got to close out on the perimeter.
Only a 26% three-point shooter, but let that one go with confidence. Here's Sconyers up top. Right wing give to Sunback. Sunback crossing over to the foul line. Bounce pass far corner to Wilson. Wilson working her way towards the paint. Cross-court feed. Was looking for Cousins. It was tipped. It goes out of bounds. Somebody tell Tara it was deflected. And she was headed back on defense. It'll stay with Delaware, 6 to shoot.
Yeah, just a really tough angle there. But I like Chloe Wilson. I think she needs to go at Erdogan. Like, go at her offensively and make Erdogan play you on defense.
Not a good poker face there from Cousins, but luckily the officials stuck with their call. Inbound goes to Boone. 3 to shoot, top of the key. Works her way to the left elbow. Got to get it off. Does at the buzzer. And misses everything. A shot clock violation. Basketball back to Northeastern.
She did a really nice job of splitting the two there. Just needed to take her time on the shot. Sometimes players, when the clock's winding down, don't think they have as much time as they actually do.
90 seconds into the contest. Delaware down a point. Northeastern with a basketball. In the high post. Nice catch in traffic. Jalen Bass tried to go to the right block, and it was taken away. The rotation for the Delaware defense leads to a steal. Cousins the other direction. Left elbow up top to Wilson. Wilson driving into the paint. Got bumped. No call. Ball loose on the deck. Tie up, and the arrow keeps it with the Hens.
But I like it. That's exactly what we were talking about on the last possession, is Wilson attacking Erdogan.
8:13 left first quarter. I'm Matt Janis with Christine Coramata. We're here on Flow Sports. Thanks to our Hens All Access crew and on the radio on Fox Sports 1290 and 1410 WDOV. Here's Sunback on the right wing, driving right side of the lane. Leaves it for Wilson. Spins her way to the paint, elevates and banks it home. A beautiful take from Chloe Wilson.
And that's big for the Blue Hens, because when Chloe Wilson's attacking like that, that's a good trend for Delaware.
Kelly's into the forecourt on the near wing between the circles to Erdogan. High post give to Batts. Batts try to back her way in against Boone, and a foul is called on Sydney Boone, the definition of a nickel diver.
Yeah, I thought she was just sliding along with her. I thought it was a good one-on-one matchup. I actually thought he was starting to call 3 seconds, which I thought was a little too quick. I'm surprised at the foul there.
If you put two hands on it, it's an automatic call, but I thought she was using her body more than her hands there.
Even the scorer's table was like, wait a minute, who was that foul on?
So I put 20 on the timer. The inbound goes to Batts. Batts works her way towards the foul line. Now to the top of the key. Hands there to Calise. Calise lobs it inside right block to Bristol. Bristol powers up. Yes, and a foul. Clark Sconyers giving the contact, but a nice take there from Deja Bristol.
And I really think that's just a situation where Clark Sconyers just needs to stay straight up. Instead of coming down, just force her to make a move.
And that has been a recurring theme throughout the first halves of games this year for Delaware. Scotlanders looking at the officials saying, I'm straight up, but you're right, she's coming past parallel. And early foul trouble has been her bugaboo this year. Free throw is good. The lead is 2 for Northeastern. 7:30 left to go in the opening quarter. Sunback on the near wing. Bounce pass up top to Cousins. Cousins dribbles to the right elbow. Step back jumper. Back iron no good. Wilson tipped it in the air to keep it alive. Volleyballs it around. It's out of bounds. Off her fingertips. Back to Northeastern.
Wilson very active early on around the rim, whether it's attacking, trying to get the rebound. She's making her presence felt, and that's important because Erdogan is guarding her.
Full court pressure here for the Hens, trying to get a trap as they bring it into the forecourt, but great diagonal passing. Bats at the foul line, left wide open, misses the 15-footer. Scotlanders the long rebound for Delaware. Outlets it on the move to Boone. Boone angles center of the floor, works her way to the near wing, gets a ball screen from Scotlanders. Cross-court dish to Wilson. High lob for Scotlanders on the right block. Turns, faces, now draws a double, elevates and misses the short corner jumper. Weak side rebound grabbed by Calise. Now looking to run. Visa transition triple near corner for Liner. No. Offensive board bats, and Northeastern will reset.
You can see the Huskies really worked on that press breaker, especially after the game in Boston.
Hens getting out hustled a little bit here on the glass early. Trap from Delaware over the top. They find a wide open Kelly's. Draws 2 defenders on help. Leaves it for a lefty layup. Deja Bristol, and it's 8-4 Northeastern.
Wilson had to step up, and there wasn't anyone in the vicinity to be able to rotate on the weak side.
Boone step back triple from the right wing. No good. Long rebound hustled down by Maddie Visa. Here comes the Huskies the other way. Erdogan across the timeline, getting it high post to Bats, right back to Erdogan. They go under the screen, and Erdogan makes them pay. Timeout, Delaware. You cannot do that against Darren Erdogan.
You shouldn't do that against anyone, but especially Erdogan. She will knock it down every time the shot is pure.
She had 32 of the first matchup, and she knocks down the triple here. We have a timeout on the floor. 6:05 to go in the opening quarter. Northeastern 11, Delaware 4 on FloHoops, Fox Sports 1290 and 1410 WTOV. We are back at the Bob Carpenter Center in Newark. 6:05 to go in the opening quarter. Delaware with the basketball, moving right to left. And Akaya Mays prints into the contest along with Dariana Howard. Ariana Cherizier and Rebecca Demica. So 4 new Blue Hens. Demica has it far corner. Short with the 3. Howard the follow, yes. And Delaware back within 5 with 5 3/4 left in the opening period.
And you see Delaware throwing a lot of different players in there. They want to play fast, but they're looking for combinations, too, to get this thing started.
Hens get it trapped. Good job by Northeastern, though, over the top. Erdogan on the left wing. Some body English directing traffic. They get it to Bats high post, whips it inside, and drawing the foul. Sophia Carlisle, the true freshman from Alexandria, Virginia. Only her 3rd game played of the season, and she will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Right now, the Huskies are picking apart the defense a little bit. You know, led by Erdogan, she really just has great vision, and Demica was just a half a step too slow there on the rotation. She was there, but just a little bit too slow.
Huskies going to their bench as well. The aforementioned Carlisle, her first free throws of the season, misses the front end. She'll get one more. Also, Marion Turnbull in for the first time for Northeastern. Carlisle, the freshman, Alexandria, Virginia native, was a McDonald's All-American East Team nominee at Bishop O'Connell High School. She misses a pair at the stripe here, though. Delaware the rebound, on the run the other way. Jump feed, Mays Prince inside. Demica misses the reverse layup, and Carlisle in traffic corrals the rebound for Northeastern. Huskies looking to run. Bats, a back feed. Kelly's passed up the open 3. Drives to the paint. Finds her Dwan at the foul line. Kicks it out. Top of the key, Bats. Straight line drive into contact. No call. Shot banks too strong. Cherizier, the flat-footed rebound. Outlets it to Mays Prince on the run the other way. Tried to thread the needle. Bad pass. It's tipped out of bounds. Oh, a great break for Delaware. It went off of Howard, but then Bats tried to save it. Could not. And it'll be Delaware ball.
Well, if you like running up and down the court, this is the game for you. Both teams trying to push the ball and get some points in transition.
Yeah, sorry, Christine. Keep trying to leave space for you to talk, and they just keep going up and down the floor. Here's a turnover, though. Hens throw it away as Bats reads the inbound from Boone, gets the steal, feeds it to Erdogan, inside to Carlisle, lets the defense clear, misses the lefty layup, and it's out of bounds off of Northeastern. And it is being played at a frenetic pace, but it is not the prettiest of first 5 minutes and 19 seconds we've seen this season.
No, it's not. But Erdogan is so deceptive because, you know, you think she's going to come down and shoot, but she just finds her teammates. She has really great court vision.
11-6. Delaware trailing by 5 with a basketball. Moving right to left to the opening half. Mays Prince inside on the left block. Cherizier bobbled the catch and then just saved it in right to Kelly. She looks to push the other direction. No numbers. Hits a trailing Bats. Bats driving to the paint. To Erdogan at the right elbow. Jump feed to Bats, and she walked. And that was awkward from the start. Hens will take the turnover.
Yeah, on the offensive possession for the Hens, in the entry pass by Nakaya Mays Prince, just really tough for Cherizier to get that. She had to come out of her position to reach for that. And that's why those entry passes are so important, because you want to give your post player the ball where they can then go right into their move.
Delaware's trying to find it at that point guard position. They've got 2 out there right now. It's Sydney Boone and Nakaya Mays Prince. Mays Prince running point, giving it near wing to Howard. Howard dribbling to the foul line, down the right side of the lane, holds the pivot, fadeaway jumper, in and out, back in again. The true freshman, Dariana Howard, brings the Hens within 3.
I thought that was really good composure by Howard to kind of assess the situation and get the shot off.
Turnbull in transition, short corner jumper from the near side is good, and it's 13-8. Huskies up 5, Delaware the ball. Far corner, it's Boone. Boone working her way to the foul line, picks up her bounce, needs some help. Feeds it off to Cherizier on the left elbow, driving left side of the lane, fakes a spin to her right, goes back to the left, finds Boone, backdoor cut, missed the lefty layup. Rebound grab by the Huskies.
Yeah, great job moving without the basketball. Boone had everything but the finish.
Erdogan trying to work her way to the paint, behind the back bounce, crossing over on Mays Prince, into contact. Almost got the scooping runner to go. Instead, it'll be a trip to the line that was single-handedly created by the senior from Istanbul, Turkey.
Well, she's such a great ball handler, and you don't necessarily expect that, because sometimes she has a post player playing on her because she is a little bit, taller, but she's a guard all the way around. But she has footwork like a post player, and she passes the ball and has great vision.
Misses the first free throw. Northeastern's missed 3 in a row. The Delaware basketball injury report, sponsored by Christiana Care. Do your part, get your flu shot this season to help keep you, your family, and your community safe and healthy. No Michelle Ojo, that lower body injury creeping back up for the Hens, and she might be out a while.
Yeah,
One of two at the line for Erdois.
Yeah, that would be a big hit for these Blue Hens. Had such a great year last year. They were expecting some big things.
And at 15 in the first matchup with Northeastern, here's Wilson getting pawed at. Thought she drew a foul, instead called for dragging the pivot as she tried to kick it out to Boone. The walk gives it back to the Huskies. Sutton back in, Mays Prince out as Sarah Jenkins continuing to rotate bodies, trying to find the five that'll fit tonight. Instead, nobody back defensively. Cherizier at least diving to get her fingertips on it to avoid a layup from Deja Bristol.
Yeah, and good thing she did, because that would have been a wide open layup. Just a loss of focus there by the Hens. Can't let anybody behind you.
Erdogan had her pocket picked by Demica, but then quicker to the loose ball. But Wilson from behind rips it away. Finds Sunback from her knees. Ahead to Grace on the left wing. Hands there to Boone. Boone crossover move towards the paint. Up top to Wilson. Lobbing it inside. Great work from Cherizier. They wave off the shot, but she beat the Huskies for position and draws the foul.
A lot of good things happening in that set right there, but what I loved about it was Cherizier demanding the basketball. She had her hand up, she was calling for it, and a great entry pass.
Inbound goes to Demick on the right wing. Hands there to Boone. Boone backing up in front of the Northeastern sideline. Gives top of the key to Wilson. Wilson driving right side of the lane. Offensive foul. She left her feet. Didn't know what she was going to do with it. She found an open teammate on the fly, but she also found the defense.
I think she wanted to go up with it, and last minute saw her teammate wide open, and that's why she tried to make that pass. Probably would have been better off with the jump stop, but I think she changed her mind.
2:15 remaining, opening quarter. It is Northeastern leading Delaware 14-8 with a top of the key for the Huskies. It's Oralai Kiefer in for the first time. She gives to Kelly's. Drives left side of the lane to Kiefer at the foul line. Right wing dish off to Motema, who's back into the contest and immediately makes her presence felt. Back from injury, hits the mid-range jumper. It's 16-8 Northeastern.
And she had some elevation on that jump stop as well.
Here's Cherizier in the lane, spinning to the bucket. Lefty back, too strong. It was in and out. Rebound grab by Visa. She falls down, loses it out of bounds, back to Delaware. But the good news for Northeastern, she's up and all right. Now that's big because that's a player that's missed extended stretches each of the last two seasons.
I mean, this is such a fast-paced game right now. Bodies are flying, the ball's flying, both teams getting up and down the floor. It really is going to come down to who takes better care of the ball, because they're going to have more possessions.
Just over 100 seconds left in the first quarter. Hens down 16-8. Inbound to Sunback on the left wing. Picks up her bounce, needs help. And her pass tipped out of bounds by Batts as Cousins tried to come to the ball. Delaware's got to keep the bounce alive right now. They're getting themselves in trouble.
You're absolutely right. If you're picking up the ball, you got to know immediately what you're about to do with it.
Inbound goes to Boone out near midcourt. 1:32 to go in the first quarter. Boone to the right wing. Boone backing up, looking for Sunback, curling off the screen. She gets it top of the key, driving to the right wing, kicks it out to Boone. Corner three, yes, Sydney Boone, big shot, Hens within 5.
You just felt that the Hens needed something there, and that could be the spark that the team needs, at least to close out this quarter well.
And good vision for the true freshman, Grace Sunback, setting it up. Boone shooting it with confidence. Here comes Visa the other way. Left wing dribbling to the top, inside the arc. Right wing feed off to Kelly's. Whistled away from the ball, and a foul called against Scaniers, and that's number 2.
There was a lot of confusion between the two players, between Scaniers and Bristol, of who that foul was actually was on. I think everybody was walking down towards the Blue Hens offensive way, thinking it was on Bristol, but they're calling Scaniers.
They both started arguing with the official right away, as they clearly had done some nudging inside, trying to battle for position. Both knew they had created contact with the other. Bristol getting the call this time. At the line, a 55% shooter, nothing but net. And it's 17-11. Northeastern leads, 1:01 left first quarter. One more for Bristol, the senior from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Transfer out of UVA, and in and out. It hung on the rim forever. That allowed Kiefer to grab the offensive board, and another try here for the Huskies. They whip it inside, catching it on the right block. Bristol goes across the lane, and a lefty bank is good.
And that's one of those possessions that you go back to on the film, and you said, that's one that you gave up.
asleep with the switch there, trying to rebound the free throw. 19-11, and now Wilson dribbles into contact, loses possession. Erdogan steals it away. A 7-second differential for Northeastern. Shot and game clock at his first quarter.
And the other thing that made the difference on the possession before was Erdogan easily could have taken that three, but she resisted the temptation and kept the possession alive.
Erdogan picks up her bounce here, finds a wide open Visa. Straight on three is good. Maddie Visa has Northeastern doubling up Delaware 22-11. Chance to hold for one here for Delaware. 6 seconds left of the quarter. Boone to the foul line, crossing over, finds Sunback, passed up the three. They're not going to get a shot off. Cousins had to try one at the buzzer. It's blocked by Bats, no chance. And that's the end of the first quarter. Delaware would like to forget. 10 minutes in the books at the Bob. Northeastern 22, Blue Hens 11 on Fox Sports 1290 and 1410 WDOV.
You know that feeling, right? That blue hen feeling? It's a fight song singing, fountain splashing, Greek life stepping, stone balloon mug having, Klondike Kate's Nacho Tuesday kind of feeling. It's a homecoming touchdown scoring, Deer Park dancing, double march madness bracket, met the maid of honor at my wedding kind of feeling.
Is it like this?
Yes.
What about this?
Oh yeah.
Or even this?
Definitely. It's a pride that swells and makes you buy little baby onesies and has your mamaw crocheting UD blankets at midnight. It's like being a UD record-breaking Super Bowl winning NFL quarterback.
Wait, that's like super specific.
Just go with it, Joe.
All right.
Our time here at UD gave us a home away from home and helped shape who we are today. So no matter where life has taken you or how far we've gone, remember that we are Blue Hens forever.
When it comes to the health of you and your family, you want to trust in having the best partner for your well-being. Ranked among the top 50 in the country, that's exactly what you'll find at ChristianaCare. Because you deserve excellence from your physician, specialists, nurses, and staff with safe and convenient ways to get the care you need. And at ChristianaCare, we add in something special, love. It's at the heart of everything we do, and we do it all for the love of health. Your health.
Hey, grab me one too.
We are back at the Bob Carpenter Center in Newark. Getting set for the start of the second quarter. Northeastern leading Delaware 22-11. I'm Matt Dennis with Christine Coramata. Jay Holahan back at our Newcastle studios. Our entire Hens All Access crew here for those watching on FloHoops. And not a first quarter you want to remember if you're Delaware.
Now, and a few of the things we talked about pregame was closing out at the perimeter, and Delaware struggled with that in the first quarter.
Did a good job here as Erdogan turned it over thanks to a good closeout from the Hens, and then a blocking foul against Jalen Batts as she tried to jump in front of Sydney Boone off the steal, and that's a team foul 10 seconds into the second quarter, and something Delaware, quite frankly, could use. They got to the line a lot, 26 times in the first matchup with the Huskies in Boston. Here's Boone attacking, nowhere to go. Stepped on the baseline, just lost track of where she was, and turns it over back to the Huskies.
Yeah, that's a sixth turnover here early in the game.
Right now, the Hens have two problems, it seems like, from my perspective, picking up their bounce in bad spots and then just kind of leaving their feet without having any kind of idea what they want to do with the ball. That is something that will get you into a world of hurt. Northeastern's taking advantage of it. Erdogan into the corner. Visa passing up the three, trying to whip it inside. Good hands as Charizier got the deflection. Boone's ended up with a loose ball. Outlets it forward. Demike in transition. Mary's been here, corner three. Rebecca Academica has Delaware within 8.
Great awareness by Boone to get the ball up, but by Demica as well to float to the position in the corner where there was no red shirts anywhere.
Kelly's inside. Nice pass to Bristol. Bristol holds her ground, misses in tight. Weak side rebound though to Bats. Kicks it out. Erdogan open 3. That's off the mark. Howard the weak side rebound. Splits her way through a trap. Outlets it for the Boone. Boone finds Demica. Same spot for 3. Not the same result. Front rimmed it, and Bats the weak side rebound for Northeastern.
Demica is leaking out and getting to that spot.
Visa in transition near corner 3 off the mark. Offensive board, Bristol, yes, and a foul on the putback, and Deja Bristol is fired up as the Huskies back in front by double digits.
It was great rebounding position by Cousins. She had the position. She was even pushing back, but she has got to put her hands up because she was a smaller player, but you got to put those hands up. She did everything right but her arms.
Oh, now one free throw coming for Bristol. As I mentioned a moment ago, 55% for the line, and a lane violation. Jalen Bats got dicked out by her own teammate, was in too soon, and it was missed anyway. But Delaware struggling rebounding the ball, so they'll take anything they can get. Hens have given up 4 offensive rebounds in the first 11 and a half minutes. Demica, high post to Charizier, going to take the deep 2 and hits nothing but net. Charizier continuing to come into her own, ends with an 8.
We talked a little bit about indecision by Delaware, leaving their feet, not knowing what they're doing maybe with the ball. There was no indecision there for Charizier.
Back to the high post, looks opposite wing to Visa on the far side. Up top to Kelly's, gives to Erdogan in the corner, somehow held her pivot, lobbed it out to Kelly's, right back to Erdogan, foul line right, driving baseline, cross-court feed, tipped out of bounds, good rotation. Demica got her hands on it, Cousins was there as well.
When you're guarding an Erdogan, you have got to keep your head on a swivel because she moves very deceptively well without the basketball. She can get the ball right back, but she'll take the step back, she'll come back and call for it again.
Just orchestrates everything. On cue, backdoor feed, a little too far out in front, and it goes to Delaware, but that was a great pass. Her teammate just wasn't ready for it.
All the great passers eventually hit someone in the head or throw the ball out of bounds because they're not ready for it.
And now a steal here from Batch as she races the other direction for Northeastern. In transition, finds Motema for the lefty layup, and the Huskies are just running the floor with reckless abandon.
You got to be in a flat-out sprint. Just beat them to the spot.
Maze Prince trying to hand off to Cousins. Offensive foul called against Delaware. Oh, that's a tough call on Maze Prince. They'll say she opened up too soon on the dribble handle.
Wow. I don't even have a comment on that one.
That is a very tough call. It was not a great pass. They got to be a little tighter there on that handoff. There's too much space between Maze Prince and Cousins. Here's a baseline drive from Bristol, and she switched pivot feet. There's the call. Delayed whistle from the official. Hens will take it. Down by 10. You know what? It could be so much worse for Delaware. This has been a real tough first 13 minutes, but they're hanging in there and still in position here to maybe put together a run.
And you just have to be able to weather the storm and then start to get on a roll.
Maybe start to get into a groove offensively. A little crisper with the passes. Charizier trying to spark things. She goes to the left elbow, gets stuck. Cousins comes to the basketball. 2 defenders near her. Picks up her bounce. Back to Charizier, and a foul as Bristol went through her body to get her. And that's a good break for Delaware because they were down to 7 on the shot clock, and not much was going right on that half-court look.
And that's a good break, too, because Charizier, that was a great catch. That was a tough angle to make that pass by Cousins, coming on the right side, which ends up being the top side on defense. I'm not even sure how that ball got through there.
Charizier gets the inbound, gives to Boone, near corner 3. Yes! Sydney Boone has Delaware within 7.
Boone with a couple of big threes that you just keep hoping will spark this team.
So now it's Erdogan into the forecourt, feeding to Motema top of the key. Works her way left side of the lane, pull-up jumper, good. She is so good. It's great for Northeastern to have her back healthy, and the Huskies back up by 9. She can beat you off the bounce. Very good defender, just somebody they need. Here's Danica going backdoor, challenging the freshman and winning the challenge as she draws the foul from Sophia Carlisle near the rim. And it'll be a trip to the stripe for Rebecca Demica.
And that was just great recognition as well. And then Demica seeing her defender's head turn, and she immediately makes the cut on the baseline.
You know, Danica, you talk about her coming on. She made just 6 threes in the first 9 games of the season. Now with the 3 earlier in this half, she's got 19 in her last 7 games at a quarter plus. And another thing that shows you she's starting to be more aggressive offensively. No free throws the first 2 months of the season, and now she's up to 7 in the last 3 games, knocking down a pair here and bringing Delaware within 7.
Well, she has the length to get to the rim as well. She likes to spot up at the 3, but she has the length.
Carlisle again behind the defense on that trap. And Delaware caught napping. It's a layup for Sophia Carlisle.
Yeah, if you're the last person on that press, you have got to be even with the offensive player.
Boone gives it up top to Howard. Howard trying to work her way into the paint. Holds the pivot. Kicks it out to Cousins. Left wing 3. Back iron no good. Comes right to her though as she follows it up at the foul line. Works her way to the corner. Feeds to Demico on the right wing. Head fakes a 3. Floats it to Howard. Cross court. Now to Cousins on the right elbow. Head fake out the defender in the air, but Modemo was right back in her grill. To Boone at the foul line. Elevates. Front rims the 15-footer. And Carlisle the flat-footed rebound for Northeastern.
It feels like the Hens are getting good penetration, and they'll take it just so far, and then instead of going up with it, they're looking to pass. But it's not like someone's open when they're looking to pass.
They got a couple offensive fouls. Maybe they're a little skittish as a result. Trying to go all the way to the 10, but I agree. You got to keep playing downhill. Erdogan trying to create to the left elbow. Pull up. That was too easy. She knocks it down, and the Huskies back on top by 11.
But see, that's kind of the difference right there. That exemplifies what we were talking about. She took the couple dribbles and went right up with it instead of looking like holding the ball and then trying to figure out then who to pass it to.
Here's Charizier in the high post. Faces the bucket, spins to her left, and a walk is called. She missed the floater anyway, and it'll be Northeastern ball when we return. Delaware, an uneven start, trying to hang in there against the Huskies. 4:38 left in the opening half. Northeastern 32, Delaware 21 on FloHoops, Fox Sports 1290 and 1410 WTOP. 4 minutes, 38 seconds to go in the second quarter. 32-21. Northeastern leading Delaware. Huskies with the basketball moving left to right. Three-quarter court pressure from Delaware. Northeastern, as they've done all day, handling it easily. And Motema to the left side of the lane. Another pull-up jumper. It's 34-21. Sunback looking for a quick response for the hands. Cross-court feed to Denica, far corner. Was not ready for the catch and shoot to Wilson, top of the key. Hands to Mays Prince. Splits a double team into the lane. Lost it. Was it poked free? Yes, it was. It'll stay with Delaware. 15 to shoot as it crept to the baseline.
Yeah, the baseline official asking for some help there. She couldn't see who the ball went off of.
In her defense, I couldn't see it either. There was a maze of bodies to try to look through. That was pretty good, Christine. I think you're holding to that New Year's resolution. Here's Howard driving into the paint. Powers up with the right hand, and it's 34-23.
Look at what happens when there's positivity in the air. Good things, good things.
A kinder, gentler Christine Corimata. Here comes the Huskies. Kelly in transition. Right wing three, no good. Long rebound. Wilson chasing it down in front of the Delaware bench. Outlets it to Mays Prince. Finds Sunback. Corner three. Back iron, no. Long rebound, loose. Kelly's had it. Lost it. Mays Prince rips it away and then throws it right to Erdogan. Now it's Northeastern trying to go the other way. Erdogan has no numbers. Mays Prince knocked it free from her. Kelly's quicker to the loose ball, and a foul against Wilson, as it feels like sometimes we're calling a game of ping pong right now as you are just watching the ball bounce all over the floor.
Bodies are flying all over this arena. I mean, I credit and love the hustle by both teams, but this game needs to be cleaned up a little bit on both sides. I mean, Northeastern got out to a really good start. Delaware's trying to get back into this thing, but got to take better care of the basketball.
You're right. Full contact ping pong is what we're seeing right now. Here's Visa on the near wing to Motema, top of the circle. High post to Bats, kicks it near corner. Visa for three, yes. Her second of the first half, and the largest lead for the Huskies at 14.
Kind of would be like if roller derby met college basketball.
Well, the Hens got to meet something right now because they are in danger of Northeastern growing this lead too large for the Hens to be able to rally. Howard to the high post. Nice lob inside to Wilson. Wasn't ready. Spun into traffic. Found Howard in the lane. Out to Sunbag. Right wing to Mays Prince. 6 to shoot. Got to do something here. Howard comes to set a ball screen. Mays Prince drops it. It falls right into the grasp of Carlisle.
Just very stagnant on offense. There's penetration, but it's one or two dribbles and then holding it looking to pass.
Here comes Bats the other way, kicks it out to Visa. Visa hands to Erdogan, and Erdogan will look back at her head coach, Priscilla Edwards-Lloyd, who's shouting out some instructions. Downhill drive, Erdogan had it stripped free by Mays Prince. Ooh, it'll stay with Northeastern. I thought that went off for Erdogan's leg.
Yeah, I thought so too. She kind of dropped it, and I thought it bounced off her leg. But I think the big difference right now offensively between Northeastern and Delaware is Northeastern is making the Delaware defense move, and Delaware is not doing the same. They're not reciprocating that down on the other end of the floor. They're penetrating a little bit, but not enough to fully get someone to commit to the help.
You know what? Credit to the officials. I think that snuck through Erdogan's legs. And
well, look who's complimenting the officials now.
Just barely missed her. And a three off the bounce as the shot clock expires. Jersey Kelly's. Oh, my goodness. It's 40-23.
Yeah, the Hens really need to close out this half and get a couple of quick buckets to chip away at this lead.
Got to stay within striking distance. Instead, a turnover. Freshman to freshman feed. Tipped away and taken by Erdogan for Northeastern.
The Hens up to 12 turnovers in the first half. Just too many.
Kelly's trying for 2 in a row. Airballs this three. His Cousins a better closeout. And it's out of bounds back to Delaware. 1:42 left first half. And you can't make up a 17-point deficit all at once. It's got to start with a score, a stop, and then start to string them together a little bit.
And unfortunately, when you talk about the keys to the game, it was take care of the ball. That's not happening. It was close out on the perimeter. That's not really happening. And it was get off to a good start and not dig a hole. And that's not happening.
0 for 3 right now. Here's Howard, right side of the lane. Did not go up. Tried one pass too many. Erdogan rotating back. And the Huskies, give them credit. Their rotation has been pretty sharp, but Delaware clearly overpassing right now.
Yeah, I just think there needs to be a little bit more movement without the basketball offensively.
Sarah Jenkins, I believe, took a timeout there. That would be her second with 1:27 to go. of this first half. I think that is an indication of how frustrated she is with her offense right now. Sarah Jenkins holds timeouts as close to her vest as any coach you'll find. She just feels they're so valuable because of the ability to advance the ball at the end of games and to call up plays with her end game abilities. But right now, it's not going to be a close game at the end if Delaware does not find a way to figure out their half-court offense. And she was so frustrated at her team as they came over. You can see arms in the air. What are we doing?
Well, you as a coach, you know your team's shooting yourself in the foot when you're just giving away possession. So that's one possession that you cannot have an opportunity to score, and you're just giving them away.
They're late getting into their offense. They're not crisp with the passes. Here the inbounder, Dwan, deflecting it into the backcourt. This is not what we're used to seeing from this Delaware team. They've had some offensive struggles this year, but it hasn't looked like this. Boone driving down the lane with a shot clock winding down. No follow. Yes, Cherie CAA. Boone hit the deck hard, slow to get up. Hens needed that one back within 15.
Cherie CAA has had a nice first half. She's done a good job on the offensive boards and has had a nice touch around the rim.
Now the high post again, Bats. It's been too easy getting it in there. Out to Erdogan, left wing three. She knocks it down. And Delaware back down by 18.
And that's 2 3-pointers where she didn't even touch an ounce of that rim.
Here's Wilson into contact, driving on Erdogan and drawing the whistle. Only the first foul on Darren, but a trip to the line for Chloe Wilson.
This is the difference of when, you play a team the first time, you go back and you watch the film, and obviously you're watching the film of games leading up to this matchup, but you make those adjustments and you change things, and what worked in the first game may not work in the next matchup.
43-25, Huskies up 18, 44 and 3/10 seconds to go. Wilson knocks down the first free throw. We focus so much on Delaware's struggles offensively. The other thing they've got to correct right now, they got to get the ball out of the high post. That is where they are getting eaten alive, as Wilson able to hit the second.
And I think Erdogan has just affected this game in so many ways. Obviously, she's their leading scorer, but her passing and court awareness has been phenomenal.
And then Bats and Motema have got it wherever they wanted at the free throw line. Visa inside to Carlisle. Back out to Visa. Top of the key, Erdogan. Two-person game to Visa for three. Yes, her third of the first half. It's 46-27.
And if I remember correctly, it was Visa last year that kind of had a coming out party against the Hens here at the Bob.
I think I was actually 2 years ago.
Or 2 years. Wow, see, I'm losing time. That's how old I am. I can't even remember. Seemed like yesterday, Matt.
She missed almost all of last season, didn't return until just before the CAA tournament. Here's Cherie CAA, straight on deep two. Front iron, no good. Erdogan the rebound. And that is the end of the first half. One that Delaware will not want to put in a time capsule, although they might want to dig a hole and bury it somewhere. That was not one to remember for you to.
Yeah, there's some coaches out there that are upset when you're even when you're winning by 20 or 23, but when you're down by almost 20 points going into this half, there are a lot of adjustments that need to be made, and I think the number one, it comes to taking care of the basketball.
They're going to check that last bucket. It might even get worse. It was ruled a 2 by Erdogan. They might change it to a 3. We'll let you know. We'll take a break and send it to our Newcastle studios for the radio listeners. Jay Hanahan will have the electricians. Local 313 halftime report for those on FloHoops. We'll be back about 13 minutes from now with the second half. 46-27, Northeastern leading at the half.
I think I'm long overdue. I think I should have had a show for a long time because I'm actually really funny and I am really funny. Okay. Okay.
The first thing I think of when I think of Coach Jenkins is laughing. Like, just jokes.
Eat on 3, 1, 2, 3. Eat. Tara, put your hair up so you don't look like you're off.
What does that have to do with anything?
Put it up. Danae, where'd you get the headband?
She just exudes love, you know, like she's always about hugging people, caring for people, making sure everyone is being better for themselves and for others.
We want every person that interacts with our program, that comes to a practice, that comes to a game, every kid on our team, you want them to feel loved and to feel that they're important and to feel like they matter. And that's something that we preach every day. And that's kind of, you know, the focus of our culture and what we do. But we have a lot of fun. I mean, I keep telling you, I'm really funny. Almost doesn't count, baby.
I come to work early so that I could get my work done, because when she comes to work, my day's over. So when she's at work, I spend probably 75% of my day in her office. So if I'm not in her office, she's screaming down the hall, Danae, Danae, you know.
Our team matches her personality. We take that love, that energy, and we put that on the floor and with each other and then off the court as well.
She'll call me, or she'll send me some stupid text, or she'll scream my name down the hall, I got an idea. And she has like that goofy little look, like, I got an idea. And so I'm like, oh Lord, I'm scared of what it's gonna be, but it always ends up being something really funny.
I had this idea in mind of going out there, doing those softball drills. I mean, I knew I was gonna be terrible at it, but I wanted them to be a lot worse than they were. This is hard.
Sarah's either screaming in my office, or Sarah is screaming at me, or there's something loud going on in my office, and softball always turns that corner and comes and sees us. So just building that relationship within our office, and that's how we got to this idea of having our staff play softball. Good luck watching that.
Yeah.
But what do I do? Nothing right now?
Nothing right now.
Okay. Did I look athletic? So it kind of made me mad because they weren't that bad, but it was fun, you know. They still have that athletic piece to them. I've lost all athleticism in my old age.
A lot of her ideas are definitely, you know, they're all about building relationships and building community. So like, she came up to me, she's like, I want to do a dance, and I'm like, okay. She's like, can you find out if dance could do a dance? They'll do a dance with us. I was like, okay. So then it turned out to be really great.
She is, I think she knows her limitations.
I was like, actually this year the dance is a lot easier, so I feel like, because I'm a terrible dancer, but I feel really comfortable with it, so I think we'll be really good.
So she's not gonna be like up front, center, solo, but she also does wanna be seen. So you'll see she has a little like entry piece, you know, where she's kind of front and center. But she does take it seriously.
To the top, people!
She says she like reviews the tape. We film it, and she says she practices it. So she's very serious about getting it right, but she does know her limitations.
I think I get on their nerves sometimes because I always want to hang out.
We're a dysfunctional family, but it's all love at the end of the day.
Let me guess. You'd like the latest holiday instant games and some draw games from the Delaware Lottery. And with the new Delaware Lottery Players Club, you can enter those tickets to earn entries for exclusive second chance drawings.
Has anyone ever told you you look just like me?
Oh, Ernest Hemingway? I get that all the time.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart.
The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is here. Come in now for the exceptional offers you're bound to love. Now through January 2nd.
It's there in his passion to teach and help his students create, and there in helping her students stay focused on a task and get it right. It's also in that moment when she accomplishes a goal she's been working on for weeks, or in that nudge of encouragement that motivates her to learn. Student success in Delaware Public Schools is built on these individual stories happening every day, and it's driven by teachers and education support professionals working together to give every student the attention they need to be successful in life.
For over 40 years, Delaware Hospice has helped families cope with the overwhelming stress that accompanies a loved one's serious illness. Our team of compassionate experts gives you the freedom to focus on what matters most, spending time with loved ones. Our community outreach programs provide non-medical resources during a serious illness. And if you need in-home support during treatment, our palliative care team will work side by side with your physician to manage symptoms. You can count on Delaware Hospice because we're more than hospice, giving you the freedom to focus on what matters most.
Quite a surprise there to see Hampton, who's at the bottom of the barrel in the CAA, be just 1 point ahead of Monmouth, the team that
Yeah, Monmouth is interesting. They're
middle
very
pack,
up and
but
down.
Certainly that's a game
They
they
just
would
caught
like to think they
let's
have.
be honest.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a great win. They
Yeah.
just had a great 3 days.
This is
Good job, Jay.
Thank you. Discover savings up to $13,000 off on Grant's
Come back in 1 minute.
Start something new sales event.
Yeah, we got about a minute.
What's that?
106 left on this.
Perfect. Bring it back dry though. Carpenter Center, about a minute away from the start of the second half. Delaware trailing Northeastern by a score of 46-27. I'm Matt Janis with Christine Cormada. Jay Holahan back at our Newcastle studios. Great job as always with the electrical workers. Local 313 halftime report and our entire Hens All Access crew. If you're watching at home on FloHoops, bringing you the pictures. Fantastic job by those folks. Simulcast for us on radio and TV. And Christine, a long list of things that need to be fixed for Delaware as we look at our second half game plan, brought to you by the DE 529 Education Savings Plan. How do the Hens clean this up?
Well, first and foremost, they have to take better care of the basketball. And secondly, I think offensively, the offense just looks stagnant right now. We were talking about this a little bit before the break of just Delaware's penetrating, and it seems like they're able to get in there, but once they do, they're picking up their dribble without anywhere to go. So I think the decisiveness needs to be, I'm taking this ball, I'm putting it on the bounce, and I'm either going up for the shot or I'm getting rid of it right away. They cannot hold on to the ball because then you're allowing the defense to recover even if they did move, and you got to keep everything in one motion. I think it's attack, attack, attack.
DE 529 Education Savings Plan, tax advantage education savings account could help you in your college savings goals. Visit 529.delaware.gov. Hens will move left to right as we begin the second half. Starters on the floor for UD. Cindy Boone dribbling between the circles. The Hens in the home white jerseys. Our uniform report brought to you by Delaware Hair and Company. Here's Cousins to the high post, crossing over on Bats. Works her way to the right corner. Pull up jumper short. Erdogan, the weak side rebound for Northeastern.
And here you see Delaware again coming out in that man-to-man defense.
And kind of vacillated between the zone and the man zone. Allowed the high post touches way too frequently. Man, though, they lose Visa. Lob it inside. Bristol got it blocked by Sconyers. Great defense from Clark. Starts to break the other way. Boone trying to play downhill. Finds Cousins on the near wing. Dribbles to the elbow. Out to Wilson. Head fakes a three. Drives to the paint. Wrap around dish for Sconyers to lay it home.
Yeah, great job by Wilson. Thought she was going to take that three-point shot, but then put the ball on the bounce. A nice wrap-around pass to Sconyers.
Got a good job to hold her pivot there. We've seen Wilson called for a walk on that exact play several times this year, but adjusted. Hens back within 17. Bats beats Wilson. Help defense there from Cousins. Cross-court dish. Erdogan short with a corner three. Bats the weak side rebound. Out to Visa. Visa to Erdogan, and she says, let's get organized.
Much better closeout by Boone, but then Delaware not getting the rebound.
What a move from Erdogan behind the back of the bounce. Lobbed it inside for Bristol. She went too high off the window, but got it back. Might have been a self-pass, in fact, and she was fouled on the stick-back try. And if that's Wilson, that's number 3, and it is on Chloe.
And that was the big thing in the first half. Clark Sconyers picked up the 2. Wilson picked up the 2. And Delaware runs into trouble when this happens. When Wilson or Sconyers have to go sit at the beginning of a quarter, it's not usually good for the Hens.
Well, I thought that was in the act. Hens will take a break here as the inbound goes out to Kelly. Top of the key. Lobs it high post to Bristol. Turns, faces on Sconyers. Backs her down, and they call a foul on Clark. She went for the block. She got a lot of ball, but apparently a little arm. It'll be 2 free throws and a 3rd foul on Delaware's others starting big.
Not even 2 minutes into the second half, and both players with 2 fouls now have 3 and will now both take a seat.
That's a foul. It's a good call. And the official had a better angle than we did. She got a good piece of ball, but she got a good piece of arm on the way up as well.
And it just comes down to being disciplined to make it a difficult shot. You know, a lot of times players want to block shots. Just make it a difficult shot.
47-29 as the first free throw is good for Bristol. One more line left, and that one rattles around and through. And so now Delaware down 19. They've got 2 true freshmen in the front court, and Dariana Howard and Cherizier. Here's Boone on the left wing. Inside for Cherizier. Offensive foul caught against Shack as she tried to dart to the opposite block and was called for a push-off on her way through.
And it was some great inside action there, and it was a great entry pass, which led to a layup, but take it away.
Well, I get that call, but it seems like Northeastern playing with the same physicality when they've got it offensively. Delaware just not getting those whistles. Erdogan driving to the paint, floats one. Top of the key to Bats to Visa, extra feed. Far corner, Kelly's driving baseline, runner wouldn't go. And Rizier grabs the rebound, outlets it to Boone. Boone sprinting into the forecourt, circling to the foul line, now out to the wing. Into the corner to Sunback. She'll dribble to the top. Sunback fakes a handoff to Cousins and throws it away. Was not on the same page with Cherizier. Dwan read what the freshman was thinking and was there for the steal. Now she splits a double, playing downhill, leaves her bats, left baseline jumper, good. It's 50-29.
And right now, Erdwan is just picking apart Delaware, and Delaware needs to be in attack mode at this point. Get to the rim, go hard with the dribble, move without the basketball, make things happen and create opportunities.
Here's Howard driving on Erdwan, got away with a little nudge and powered up with a banker.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Get that ball, swing through, go to the rim, just like that.
And did a good job not to extend the arm. That is what allowed her to get away with creating that contact. So now a 19-point game, 3 minutes into the third quarter. Bats has it in the high post. Turns, faces the bucket, dribbles to the left elbow, kicks it out to Visa. Visa circles to the top of the key, hands to Edwan, floats it inside to Bats. Bats stuck on the left block, but somehow got it cross court to Calise, and then a walk on the entry feed inside for Bristol. I was Northeastern overpassing a tad, and eventually it came back to bite him in the backside.
Yeah, I was surprised Bats didn't take that initial shot. I mean, she half turned and actually had an open shot and then turned back the other way, and I guess thought she was guarded, but still could have gone up with the shot.
That was what threw me off. I was about ready to describe the shot. I just assumed it was coming. Instead, Delaware gets the turnover, back to work, down 19. Cherizier powering down the right side of the lane. Same move as we saw from Howard. Uses the window to draw Delaware within 17.
That's exactly what we've been talking about for the last hour, is just take the ball and get to the rim.
A pair of rookies scoring on back-to-back trips. Now can Delaware keep stringing together some stops? Erdwan top of the key, looking for Bats on the left elbow. Bats deeks right, spins left, fadeaway jumper, front iron, and through. What a roll on a good touch shot to make it 52-33.
Yeah, not much you could do there. That was just a great shot by Bats.
Got the friendly bounce, but it was a pretty take. Now Boone, great take, but can't finish as she split the defense, and then Delaware give it a bit of a gift there. It looked like it went off of Howard. It'll stay with the Hens, though.
Well, you know, these last 4 possessions, though, for Delaware, this is more like it. They're getting to the rim, being more decisive. Got to keep that pattern up.
Playing downhill for sure, but under control. Inbound to Cherizier. Hands it to Maze Prince, who just checked in. She darts down the lane. Righty scoop is good. It's 52-35. And Northeastern doesn't want to let Delaware build any momentum. They're going to take a timeout. 5:47 to go in the third. The Hens within 17. At home, looking to mount a rally. This is Blue Hen Women's Basketball on FloHoops, Fox Sports 1290 and 1410 WDOB. I'm Matt Janis with Christine Corimata. Jay Holahan back at our Newcastle studios. The entire Hens All Access crew bringing the pictures on FloHoops. It is Women's Empowerment Day here at the Bob, and Hens wearing shooting shirts with names on the backs that have people that have inspired them, and the Hens need some inspiration right now.
Absolutely do. Got to dig deep and do whatever you need to do to get that inspiration and get on a roll.
They have played spirited over the last 2 minutes, forced a quick timeout from the Huskies. Now, man-to-man defense here for the Hens. Huskies just getting into a set, 10 on the timer. Back to the high post, hands it off to Kelly's. Kelly's right side of the lane, runner, yes. What a tough shot. And a beautiful take for the freshman.
She had a runner a few possessions ago that was a little bit short, and I thought it was indecisiveness, but after seeing that one, I think she meant to do it.
Jersey Kelly's does not look like a freshman out there at all. Here's Demica. High post lob to Cherizier. Spins to her left, holds the pivot, scoops it, no good. Rebound batted to Mays. Prince attacking the glass, but her follow no good. And then a foul on Nakaya reaching in. And it'll be Northeastern ball when we return. So a flurry of opportunities for Delaware, but they can't convert with a bucket. 4:57 to go in the third quarter. It's Northeastern 54, Delaware 35 on FloHoops, Fox Sports 1290 and 1410 WDOV. Now to take a look at the CAA standings presented by our friends at Eastern Seals of Delaware and Maryland Eastern Shore, celebrating 75 years of creating an inclusive community, and they're just getting started. Delaware entering play today, tied for 9th in the conference with Northeastern. Both teams at 2-3. The Hens have lost to first place Stony Brook, second place North Carolina A&T, and third place William and Mary, all in tight games. But anything but tight so far here tonight. Motema driving right side of the lane, and her return has been a successful one for the Huskies. A third-team All-CAA performer last year, and a Portland, Maine native after missing almost a month, right in the thick of everything, and creating some spark off the bench for Northeastern.
Yeah, she really tries to get to the rim. She kind of plays with that reckless abandon once she puts the ball on the bounce and drawing the foul there and taking a hit while doing it.
Foul on Demica, her first. Free throw gives Northeastern a 20-point lead. Kid that ended the starting lineup last January and then stayed there the rest of the year. Was expected to be a mainstay of the starting lineup this season, but then injuries can change any plan. It's 1 of 2 at the foul line, but just such an unselfish player out there for Northeastern. Delaware the ball. Maze Prince driving to the paint, kicking it out. Demica, corner 3 for the far side. No good. Weak side rebounder, Dwan. Trying to beat the defense down the floor. Stops at the foul line and hits the pull-up jumper. It's 57-35.
This has great form, great rotation on her shot, and she can really stop on a dime.
Darren Erdogan, the transfer from Arizona, second season at Northeastern. All-conference performer last year and headed there again this season. Demica short with a left wing 3. Erdogan, the rebound, fell down, dribbling, got up like she's in the Harlem Globetrotters, handed it to Bristol and then got it back.
She's like the ringer when you go to a pickup game at the Y, but has played like, high-level basketball. I mean, that's what she looks like sometimes out there, where she's playing chess and everyone else is playing checkers.
Oh, Cousins tried to beat Moatema to the spot. Looked like she got there on the crossover. The official saw it otherwise, and the blocking foul goes on Cousins.
Yeah, I think the official thought it was a little bit of a flop. I think she tried to sell it a little too much. Kind of went flying a little bit too far, I think. But I do think it was pretty good defense. But I do think the arm was extended.
I don't understand how it ends up being a foul on Cousins.
I don't
You could
either.
go no call if you thought
Right,
it was a flop.
exactly.
Moatema hits the first free throw. I guess she thought that Cousins slid in late, but the Henshaw Access crew gave us a pretty good look. Sure seemed like she was there in time. And she's not a help defender, so her responsibility to be there is not as great.
Well, Delaware picked up 3 fouls in less than 2 minutes of this third quarter, and now it's coming back to bite them because now Northeastern will be on the line every foul the rest of this quarter.
Meanwhile, the Huskies have none in the third quarter. Ends down by 24. Demica into the lane, leaves it for Cherizier. Back out to Demica, dribbles to the right elbow, pull-up jumper, banks it in. Not sure if she called glass, but it counts, and it's 59-37. And now the Hens have got to get this pressure going. Do they have a big comeback? Remember, the Huskies erased a 17-point deficit against Delaware in Boston last season in the fourth quarter. Erdogan, right side of the lane, to Bats to the high post. Cousins fell down. Bats wraparound feed, left block, layup, Bristol.
I thought Bats was overpassing for a second, but they ended up coming out on top with the wraparound. There's a lot of times where she has an open look, but she ends up passing it off anyway.
Cherizier on the right elbow, playing downhill, spinning into a double team, out to Howard. Howard swings it left wing to Maze Prince. Right wing pass to Cousins. 2 dribbles into a double team. Out to Maze Prince. Maze Prince dribbling to the foul line. Lefty runner, too strong off the window. Howard, the offensive board, 3 to shoot. Powers up and is fouled. Good persistence from Dariana Howard. And Hens will get a trip to the line to shoot a pair. And Christine, that's a pretty good drive from Maze Prince, but you can't just throw it off the window, and that's been kind of a recurring theme for Nikaya this year. She's still doing things with her quickness and her athleticism, and you see it in bursts where she's able to finish, but then a lot of trips like that where there's not much you're going to get out of a opportunity where you have it bounce off the backboard too far by 2-3 feet.
And I actually think, she got by the defender, and I think she was surprised that she did a little bit. I don't think she was ready to shoot it, and then went up with the left hand, but like you said, a little too high off the glass.
That's one where maybe jump stop and give yourself a couple options once you're in there. As Howard misses the first free throw, I've seen the coaching staff work with her on that, and she just continues to be such a potential threat for this Delaware team, and she's working as hard as anybody out there. Just got to be able to finish, or at least be a bit more under control near the rim. 2 free throws for Delaware don't go. Their deficit is 24, 2:15 left third quarter. Northeastern the basketball, a trap, and getting it knocked out of bounds was Calise. Good hands from Cherizier, but it'll stay with the Huskies, 15 to shoot.
Yeah, Delaware executed that very, very well. They blitzed and jumped there, and then were denying the next pass.
2:11 left in the third. And blitz again for a double team. Force a feed out of Matena's hands. And now a strip as Maze Prince took it away. 2-on-2. Good decision to slow it up. Cross-court feed. Sunback wide open right wing 3. Too deep from Grace Sunback. Weak side rebound to Moatema. Behind the back bounce to beat Maze Prince. Into the lane. Lefty scoop. Yes.
It's a really good look for Sunback. You just feel like those are the shots that Delaware's got to knock down when you're trying to creep back into something.
This is full-fledged Murphy's Law right now for Delaware. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong. Howard powering up, and there's a break. She gets some contact at an and one as Kiefer gave the foul, and the finish brings Delaware within 24 with Howard to the line for an and one opportunity.
Yeah, and Howard's had a nice game today. She's been perfect from the field. She's getting good looks. She's going strong to the rim, squaring her body up, and absorbing some contact and finishing.
95 seconds left in the third quarter. I agree completely. Howard, after a tough game at A&T, knocking down the free throw here, she picked up 3 charges in the span of about 2 minutes of game action. It really limited her opportunity to be a factor down in Greensboro. But today, much better, playing with her head up, and that's always such a key for the true freshman.
Yeah, she's perfect from the field, and she's got 4 rebounds to go along with her 9 points.
Now the true freshman the other way. Carlisle inside, had it rejected from behind. Delaware the basketball, down 23. Trying to push. Mace Prince crossing over, working her way to the paint, and a foul is called. Huskies had a few to give. Third team foul in this third quarter on Northeastern, so Delaware will be throwing it in.
Oh, some synchronized officiating there. They both blew the whistle at the same time. The arms went up at the same time. Don't see that very often.
On a call that was not necessarily all that clear cut. That was not as though she got hammered or knocked to the floor. Here's Demike in the corner from Mays Prince, backing to the wing. Now turning to the top of the key, works her way to the left elbow, backs up to the wing, fires up a 3, and no pass possession there from Delaware. And a weak side rebound batted into the hands of Calise.
Looked like Howard was doing the tip drill there, almost had it.
They were daring Demike to shoot that off the bounce. You could tell she didn't want to do it, but at a certain point, they just gave her too much room. Edouin to the high post. Edouin trying to back down on Mace Prince. Great hands from Nakaya, forces the tie-up. The arrow will keep it with Northeastern, but that's a pretty nice play. Edouin is listed at 5'6". There's no way if she's 5'6", Nakaya is 5'5". That's a much bigger differential than 1 inch.
And Nakaya Mays Prince showing off her work in the weight room, keeping a grip on the ball.
And she is as strong as you'll find in this backcourt for Delaware. The lob inbound towards Edouin. Mays Prince wanted to go get it, couldn't quite get there. Instead, Motema gets into the high post, elevates, misses the 15-footer. Sunback batted it towards Mays Prince. She couldn't get there, dives on the floor after it. The good news is the arrow belongs to Delaware. The bad news is you're forced to use the arrow off a missed shot from your opponent, and you need every possession you can get, down by 23 with 33 seconds to go. Now the Hens still looking to get their first player in double figures today. Trailing 63-40, moving left to right. Sunback top of the key. Try to bounce pass entry. Visa looked like she kicked it. No, it's a clean steal and then a foul against Delaware's Grace Sunback. I think both teams think that call is against Northeastern. The only one on the floor that knew it was against the Hens was Edouin. She comes into the huddle and says, "Oh, we're going the other way."
And she was just talking to Visa right there and saying, "Just walk down this way, just walk down this way."
We all saw you kick it, but they didn't somehow. And now the officials conferring they cannot.
That was a funny observation, though, watching Edouin talk to Visa, and just the look on her face, the big smile, knowing that she got away with one there.
I don't know what they call it. Delaware's over the limit.
Yeah, not sure what the call was there.
The official chose to go to the evaluator instead of an explanation for us.
Okay.
I can't blame him. I'd go to my boss too.
He doesn't want to be your friend. Matt.
Now goes to Edouin. She will dribble it into the forecourt. If they caught a foul on Northeastern, that should be free throws. And now the ball is loose on the deck. Sunback diving on top of it. The arrow, as she is tied up, will keep it with the Huskies. 6.5 seconds left in the third quarter. I'm at a loss what happened on that last possession. How it could not be 2 free throws for the Huskies.
It looks like the stats say it was a turnover.
That's a weird
but
one.
I'm not
4 seconds left in the quarter. Bats into the lane. Fade away. No. And that's the end of the third quarter. And Hens are going to need something miraculous over the final 10 minutes. The Huskies, an impressive first 3 quarters today in Newark. It is Northeastern 63, Delaware 40. Back with the fourth quarter in a moment on Flow Sports, Fox Sports 1290 and 1410 WVOV. Time now to take a look at the battle in the paint, brought to you by Cassidy Painting, putting paint where it ain't since 1986. If you're in need of a coating, they've got you covered. And for Delaware right now, -4 inside, which isn't a lot, but it's not what Delaware had in mind coming in. And it's trying to cut into a 23-point deficit as we start the fourth quarter. And they go inside to Cherizier. She's undercut and fouled. So Shaq will head to the free throw line to shoot a pair. And we got an explanation from the officials, or thanks to them for explaining to us what happened there on that play near the end of the third quarter as you chased them down to find out what exactly
And I sure did. I was waving them down, and they were kind enough to come over and explain. And what they said was it was basically they just called it a team control foul on White. So basically player control, which is why Northeastern did not shoot the free throws.
It was a tough call for the Huskies. It looked like they had control of the ball when the contact came. But our appreciation to the officials for giving us the explanation. Good investigative journalism from you. Hens knocking down 2 free throws, and they get a steal. Mays Prince jumps the passing lane. 3-on-2 the other way. Finds Demica. Left wing 3. Front rim no good. And the rebound grab by Kelly's as the Hens just can't get any momentum going.
And I really like that Demica spotted up at the 3.
That's pull-up jumper, hits the rim 6 times, toilet bowls around and through.
I think that's her 3rd field goal that has done that.
65-42. Northeastern has played great. And then at the same time, you just think it's not Delaware's night. And both things are absolutely true. Howard on the near wing, looking high post, cannot find Cherizier, gets stuck, kicks it out to Mays Prince, entry feed, right block, Cherizier powers up, banks it home, and it's not giving up yet, back within 21.
That was just good awareness because Erdogan left. She received the ball, and then Erdogan left her player to run and go get somebody else.
Kelly's fell down, the steal from Mays Prince, races to the basket, she beats the defender for a layup.
That's that explosive speed. Just grabbed that ball and was like, and just went right to the rim.
Wait, what was she like? Pretty good. Here's Edouard the other way. As the Huskies able to beat the pressure. And now they will use some clock, running some offense. Up by 19 with 8:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Edouard carving up the defense, leaving it right block for Bats. And she was fouled at the rim. It'll be a trip to the line for the fifth-year senior from South Riding, Virginia.
Erdogan with the no-look pass looked like she was extending that left arm to go up to the rim, and at the last minute just kind of flicked it over to Betts.
I'm still trying to get over your Chris Berman right there.
Hey, you know, I'm trying new things. Like we said, you know, I'm complimenting officials. I'm trying some sound effects. I'm investigating in the middle of the game. I'm broadening my horizons, Matt.
Here, five-tool broadcasters. Bats front rims the first free throw. One more coming. 8:20 to go in the fourth. Delaware down by 19. It stays there. Both free throws no good. Erjuan had the rebound. It was ripped away by Nakaya Mays-Prince. And then she is fouled in the backcourt. And what a big play there from Nakaya. Smallest on the floor. Able to salvage the board and draw a contact play against the Huskies.
Well, she has proven here today that she's put the work in the weight room, because 2 times off Erjuan, she has ripped that ball away from her. Always the smallest player on the floor, but tiny but mighty.
And Erjuan is pretty strong in her own
Yes,
right
she is.
as well. The senior from Istanbul, Turkey, all-conference performer last year. She's going to go sit down and get a breather. 65-46. Delaware trails by 19. 8.25 left in the final period. Sun back on the left wing for the Hens, moving left to right. Dribbling towards the corner. Now baseline into the paint. Powers up. No good, but she was fouled. Good read there from the New York native. Felt the defense behind her and drew the contact.
And here's this will be good for Grace Sunback. She's such a great shooter. Watch that ball go through the net on her free throws, and maybe she can get some perimeter shots to go down. You know, Demica and Grace have been able to spot up from the three, just haven't been able to get it consistently going through.
She hits the first free throw now, 4 of 6 from the stripe on the season. That's her first points of the game. Demica, meanwhile, does have 7, but has missed 7 of her 8 threes, and almost all of them have been good looks. Second free throw is good, and it's 65-48. Demica in, Sun back out as the Hens set up some full court pressure. Bats in the middle, had it knocked free by Boom, but Bats able to retrieve it. Works her way into the forecourt and finds the true freshman Kelly center circle. Priscilla Edwards-Lloyd barking out instructions from the Northeastern sideline. Kelly forces one inside, and it's taken away by Cherizier. Outlets it for to Wilson, racing to the bucket, lays it in, and we've got a 15-point game with 7:37 to go.
I can't think that Erdogan would be out. Oh, and there she goes right to the scorer's table as I'm thinking. I can't think that Coach Edwards-Lloyd would want her out.
But the Huskies turn it over first as Motema steps on the far sideline trying to beat the pressure. Delaware ball and a little life here for the Hens.
And this is the most energy I've seen in the building since the tip-off. The Hens showing a lot of motion on the floor.
An 8-0 run here from UD. 2 timeouts left for Delaware. 3 remaining for Northeastern. 65-50. Delaware trailing, but with the basketball, they've scored 8 straight. Still 7:25 to go. Sun back, curling to the right elbow. Gives to Mays-Prince. Head fakes a 3 on the right wing. Backs away into the paint. Out to Boone. Head fake a 3 on the left wing. A lot of contact, no call. Flips it to Wilson. Wilson driving to the paint. Elevates and hits. Chloe Wilson has Delaware back within a baker's dozen.
What a run from the Hens, and it has been from the defense creating the offense.
Botana trying to drive baseline. Cherizier meets her. Gets a lot of ball, but can't force the whistle on the tie-up, and instead a kick out to Erdogan near midcourt. Still 12 on the timer for the Huskies. Mays-Prince harassing her. A double team comes. Finds Botema far corner. Works her way to the paint. Stops. Bats. High post. Gets it short with a jumper. Bristol to follow. Over the backboard. Delaware ball with 6:39 to go within 13.
And you could just feel the momentous momentum shift here in the Bob Carpenter Center. There is life in these Blue Hens.
Seismic, to say the least. A score here would be huge. Sunback has it left wing for Delaware. Bounce pass through the legs of Cherizier, but then Wilson able to get the outlet pass deflected, and Sunback chases it down to get it back for UD.
This is what we call a do-over.
Here's Sunback, far corner for three. Yes! 10-point game, still 6:05 to go.
We just said if Grace Sunbeck can see that ball go through the net at the free throw line, maybe that will open up the perimeter game for her and on cue.
I am shocked Northeastern not calling timeout here. Botema to the foul line. The bats on the right wing. Looking for Visa. Too far out in front. Out of bounds. Back to Delaware. Still 5:44 to go, and the Hens a chance to get within single digits.
And where has this been all game?
Incredible. Mays Prince inches her way towards the left wing. Dribbles to the top of the key. Near wing to Boone. Bounce pass to Wilson. Wilson driving baseline. Powers up. No, but she's fouled. And Chloe Wilson will head to the free throw line to try to draw Delaware to within single digits. Still 5:27 to go in this fourth quarter.
We were talking about the mindset of the Hens, that they were hesitant in that first half and even into the third quarter. And now we've seen that shift of, we said they need to attack, attack, attack. And that's what they've done. Now they're going to the rim. They're doing things with assertiveness and aggressiveness.
First free throw for Wilson. She's got it. Chloe, who has established residency at the free throw line all year, attempting her 92nd and 93rd free throws of the season. A 9-point game, one more line right. Wilson connects. It's 65-57, a 15-0 run from Delaware.
Delaware outscoring the Huskies 17-2 in the fourth quarter.
Back to the high post, out to Visa. Big three for the corner, no good. Danica couldn't grab the rebound. Instead, it's the true freshman Kelly's out to Erdogan. 15 still to shoot for the Huskies. Bats up top, gives it to Kelly's near wing. Feeds to Erdogan, works her way to the paint. Yes, and a foul. She pinned Mays Prince on her back hip and then used her power for the and one.
And she made sure everybody knew it, too. She kind of pointed her finger like the shot was going down. She's been the facilitator in this game. In Boston, she had those 32 points. Today, not as much offensively, but she is directing their offense, but she comes up big as their leader when they need it the most.
And an and one converted. The old-fashioned three-point play gets the lead back to 11. Still 5 minutes to go, though, for Delaware. Big one from Erdogan, though, as she ends a 15-0 run. Sunback, crossover move, works away to the left elbow, picks up her bounce, feeds to the perimeter to Boone, back to Sunback, step back, left wing three, air ball short, out of bounds to Northeastern, and Delaware will have to regroup. We have a timeout on the floor. Chance for the Hens to catch their breath. They used a lot of energy to go on that 15-0 spurt within 11, 4:42 remaining. You're listening to Delaware women's basketball on FloHoops, Fox Sports 1290 at 1410 WDOV. Moving forward on the Delaware basketball schedule, presented by Dart. Moving forward, easily connect with friends and family in downtown Newark using Dart Connect, an on-demand bus service from Dart First State. Download the Dart Connect app today and learn more. Hens will have Towson at the Bob on Sunday. We'll get started at 2 p.m. Hope to see you at the Carpenter Center. Tickets available at BlueHens.com. If not, you can catch all the action on FloHoops or on NBC Sports Philly. Northeastern ball up by 11, and Wilson trying to block the shot inside. It is called for the foul as Kelly's driving right side of the lane, and that looked like a lot of leather, but the call goes to the true freshman.
That looked like a great block. I mean, that was all ball. She moved her feet. She stays straight up. She didn't put her hands down. Got a lot of ball. And the official was behind Wilson making that call. That's a tough call.
I normally leave it to you on the officials. I like the officials. They're really good to us, and they're doing a hard job. But that's a bad call. That was all ball as the Hens All Access crew gave us a great look. And that's a killer if you're Delaware. First free throw good. Second, can't get the roll. Damica able to chase down the rebound for the Hens. 4:20 left, trailing by a dozen. Boone into the forecourt, stopping top of the key. Backs it up, and a call from the Delaware sideline to run some offense. Zone defense here from Northeastern. Mays Prince, cross-court feed. Sunback near corner, dribbling to the wing. Sunback needing some help. Screen from Demica, turns the corner, floats it out to Mays Prince. Inside Cherizier, lefty bank, yes! And Delaware back within 10, 3:50 to go.
It looked like Delaware was searching for a three-point shot on that possession, and all I kept thinking was you don't have to get it all at once, and then finally they reverse the ball, make that defense move, and then fire right down into the lane.
Although it will be tough to keep taking 25, 26 seconds per possession, but good finish there from Cherizier. Now Erdogan step through, and then what? A foul is called on Mays Prince after it looked like Erdogan took 2 extra steps, and then the ball was thrown to the baseline, and after that, the whistle came.
And even Erdogan, I think she cannot believe that was a foul that was called. First, I don't know if it was a travel because it might have just been an awkward one too, but it was just a pass. I don't even think there was contact. I'm not understanding at this point of the game.
Why is she at the free throw line?
Yeah, that's not the 5th foul?
No, it's only the 14th foul.
They're not trying to say that.
The baseline.
They're not trying to say that she was shooting because that was a pass.
As though they are.
That was a pass. And she's actually smiling because I think she knows what is happening right now.
Adwan to shoot 2. Ball does not lie. Front rim's the first.
Here, the replay up in the arena there, and she was passing to her teammate.
Second free throw is good. That or she missed the rim by 8 feet. Boone across the timeline. Delaware needs a bucket. They need it quick. Again, the officials are not the reason for the Hens' struggles, but boy, that's 2 tough calls in a row. And now a whistle and a timeout. Sarah Jenkins, knowing the importance of this possession, down 11 with 3:16 to go, and the Hens not getting into the offense quick enough, calls the timeout to try to get them sparked. But that's been a recurring theme. Delaware comes down the floor. It just takes too long to get into their sets, and the coaching staff has been working on that in practice on almost a daily basis.
And these possessions are too critical to have miscommunication. So Coach Sarah Jenkins wants to make sure that everything is very clear going forward. They still have a timeout left, but she needed to use that. If she was not happy with what she was seeing, she needed to figure that out.
It's one you don't want to have to call. You're upset that you had to take the timeout, but it's one you can't afford to throw the possession away. It would essentially be the game with 3 1/4 remaining. Got to keep the pedal down here. Within 11. Wilson in the high post down the right side of the lane. Got bumped, no call, missed the runner. Wow. And a rebound grab by Northeastern.
Yeah, it is tough as a coach when you're seeing certain fouls being called at one end and then there's obvious contact at the other, which displaces the player and alters the shot. So now the Hens need to get a stop.
Erdogan Out near midcourt, lobs it to Bats. Bats driving right side of the paint. Lost it. Cousins able to knock it free. Dives on the floor after it. From her derriere finds Charisier. Here comes Delaware. Still time. Got to go fast. Sun back on the near wing. Entry feed to Wilson. She falls down out of bounds back to Northeastern. Chloe looking for a call, but that's a good no call as she just lost her balance.
Yeah, I think she was kind of falling backwards and then went to lunge for the ball and just couldn't get her footwork. And, you know, that's one where you wouldn't even mind if Sunbeck would have launched that three because you do need to score quickly here.
Now, credit to the Hens for creating a little magic, but they just dug themselves way too big a deficit. And now starting to run out of time. 2:17 left. The lead 11 for Northeastern. Bristol in the high post faces on Charisier, powers up, misses everything, and Wilson finally goes to get the ball after everybody hesitated for Delaware. Outlets it up to Boone. Need quick buckets now if you're Delaware. Demica near corner. Entry feed to Charisier. Feels the defense. Turns to her left and banks it in. Oh, is Charisier special inside. 9-point game, 1:50 to go.
She's having an outstanding game.
Oh, she had a chance at a steal there. Was a step late as Erdogan got away with it. Floats it over to Kelly's. Back to Erdogan. 15 on the timer. 100 seconds to remaining. Delaware's deficit is 9. Boone all over Erdogan. 8 to shoot. Erdogan spins into the paint, stops, floats it to Bats. Bats driving baseline for the layup. Big shot for Northeastern and maybe the dagger. Up 11, 80 seconds to go.
Northeastern using every second of that possession.
Wilson dribbling to the foul line. Step back deep two. Got it. Chloe Wilson keeping hope afloat. Now you got to think about fouling here if you're Delaware.
Yeah, it's a 3-possession game.
Oh, a steal! Wilson getting in front of the passing lane from Giza. Spins at midcourt and is fouled by Bats. And that's ideal if you're Delaware. Has a chance to score with the clock stopped and 1 minute remaining.
Well, you have to credit the Hens here because there is no give up in this team. It looked very bleary in the third quarter. I just made up a new word, but that's what it looked like in the third quarter.
We needed a new word for the way that second half began.
Bleak and weary. That's my combination word. But then that fourth quarter run of going 17-2 early in that fourth quarter, and now still with a chance to cut it to 2 possessions at some point.
Wilson connects on the first. It's 72-64. I like it. That's a new wrinkle on the term compound word. Wilson, second free throw, line right, back iron, no good. Boone tipped it to keep it alive, out of bounds, off of Carlisle. They'll go to the monitor to check that one, but if it stands, it'll be Delaware ball, down by 8, 58 and 2/10 seconds left. And Sarah Jenkins will get a chance to draw up a play here.
And she wasted no time. She knew as soon as there was even an inkling that they were going to go to the monitor, she called her team over and got those valuable extra seconds to go through some of these things in this pseudo timeout.
Now you just need the call to stand and go Delaware's way. It was close as Boone was battling with a true freshman, Sophia Carlisle, playing only her 3rd career game. Did a nice job in the first half. Northeastern has struggled taking care of the basketball here in the second half. Some credit for that goes to Delaware's defense as they have kept them in fast-forward mode, even when it was clear that Erdogan wanted to kind of slow things down and allow her team to take some deep breaths. The Hens just had a couple tough calls go against them and then just missed some open shots, or otherwise this could be an insanely different story. As it is, if this call stands, still light for Delaware, down 8 with 58 and 2/10 seconds to go.
And how about some of the youngsters stepping up? You know, Grace Sunbeck hitting that big 3, Charisier, what a game she's had, and then Howard also hitting some big shots. So the young freshmen stepping up in a big game.
And so the call is confirmed. Delaware ball. They also get 0.3 of a second on the clock. They'll take everything you can get, down by 8 with 58.5 to go. You are so right about Charisier. 14 points on only 9 shots for the true freshman, and then 11 points, 5 boards for Dariana Howard. Inbound to Boone on the left wing. It's have to go fast here. Boone looking for some help, dribbling to the top. Now works her way to the foul line into the paint. Runner, no, but she's fouled. Little nudge from behind, and a chance to get it to 2 possessions if Boone can make both.
And the best thing that's happening for the Hens right now is not only the fouls, but the clock is stopping. So they're able to stop the time, and then if she can make both of these free throws, not only does it cut it to a 2-possession game, but it allows them to get into that full court pressure.
These 2 head coaches so close. Sarah Jenkins, Priscilla Edwards-Lloyd, they've been lifelong friends. They know each other's philosophy so well. It's one of the reasons these games are never over until they're over, because they understand how the other's trying to finish it off as Boone hits the first. 1 more to come. Bends the knee, shot is good. 6-point game. And a timeout Northeastern. They will advance the ball. They've had enough for the pressure from Delaware. They don't want to deal with any potential trap.
And just to try to put in context this fourth quarter that the Hens are having, in the entire first half, Delaware only had 27 points. In this fourth quarter, they have 26 points. So they have exploded here in the fourth quarter. They're getting the job done by attacking the rim. They're drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line. Kind of a lot of the things we were talking about before the game. They just waited a little bit to get it going.
Well, you have established well my struggles with mathematics, but even I can tell you that's a lot better in the fourth quarter, no doubt about it. And as this coaching staff has said many, many times, we're a transition team. This team is built to play in transition. If opponents can turn it into a half-court game, it gets exponentially tougher for UD. Here we go, 49 and 7/10 left. Hens will go for the steal and then have to give the foul at a certain point. It'll be Batch to throw it in far sideline. They get it into Erdogan. That's not who you want to foul. To the left wing. Cross-court feed to the freshman, and Kelly is fouled, and it almost looked as though they had drawn that up to give her the ball the way Delaware was playing. They ran Erdogan in numbers. Kelly's a small sample size, 5 of 6 from the line coming into this contest. And 1 of 2 so far tonight. 72-66, 41 and 9/10 to go. First free throw is good. Back to a 3-possession lead for Northeastern.
That's a big free throw for the freshman.
She has been magnificent today. Edwan runs things, but she's been right there. Misses the second. Boone had the rebound knocked loose. It's out of bounds off of Northeastern, and I'm sure they'll go to the monitor to check that one. Delaware will take a timeout. That's their last to advance the ball here. 39 and 5/10 seconds remaining. Doesn't look like they'll go to the monitor, as the Hens will get the basketball and advance it into the front court.
And I'm not sure if he's going to the monitor now. No, they're not going to go to the monitor.
I thought for sure it was Delaware ball, but at this point you almost expect that they're going to look at everything.
But for the Hens, I think here you're either looking for that quick 2, or I think you're getting, depending on who's in this game, you might want to try to get that 3. I mean, there's almost 40 seconds left. It's a 3-possession game. You're going to have to get a 3 or an and 1 at some point. So whether you go for the 3 now or you try to get to the rim and finish, at some point you're going to have to take a 3.
Well, because now you're out of timeout, so you can't advance the ball.
Right.
So that will cost you probably at least 1 more possession.
Right.
Just getting it across the timeline, the 2 or 3 possessions you're going to need the rest of the way. Whatever it is, it has to be fast here for Delaware.
Hey, and crazy things have happened. Did you see that Vermont game the other day where there was about 3.5 seconds? They were down, I think, 5 and ended up winning the game. So ended up technically winning it with 0.5 seconds. So things can happen in 39.5 seconds if you could be down 5 with 3.5 seconds and still come out with a victory.
That's some Reggie Miller at the Garden stuff right
Yep.
there. Was Spike Lee at the game?
I don't think he goes that far north.
Boone to throw it in far sideline. Gets it into Sunback. Hands it back to Boone. Boone, top of the key to Sunback left wing. Sunback driving baseline. Out to Cherizier. Taking a long time
Too much time.
Boone on the left wing. Stuck, spins, stuck. Foul line. Backing her way in. Fade away. No. And a rebound to Bats, and Northeastern is going to escape. A valiant effort by Delaware as they went on a 15-0 run. Got it back to within 6. But the Huskies had too much down the stretch. A gritty effort from Priscilla Edwards-Lloyd's team and they improved to 3-3 in conference play. Delaware drops to 2-4 as Northeastern wins it 73-66, the final.
Well, these two teams play tough matchups here, and to go up to Boston and play the way they did against this Huskies team, it's a shame what happened early in this first half, but Delaware coming back, having an unbelievable fourth quarter, but they just ran out of time.
And this one, kind of the inverse of what we've seen from Delaware at times this year, where they have gotten off to such strong starts and then fade down the stretch. Unfortunately, it was just too much to overcome. The game really decided at that closing stage of the second quarter when they took a 10-point lead, went on a 12-2 run, and turned it into a 22-point advantage and grew it to as large as 25 in that third quarter.
And I do think our keys of the game were spot on. I do think, limiting those turnovers, getting on the closeouts from the threes. There were some big threes early in the game for Northeastern, and then not digging that big hole.
I like that you tried to share credit with me. That's all you, and you are 100% right. And it's something that Sarah Jenkins has been talking about with her team. And they have been talking about more consistency and then obviously finishing. At least they get the finishing part today, not to win, but to get back in the game. But now you got to find a way to put together a full 40 minutes, and that consistency thing continue to be an issue. Our interview with the head coach of the Hens, Sarah Jenkins, as she is making her way over to us courtside at the Bob Carpenter Center. Her interview presented by our friends at Acme, the head coach of the Hens. Joining us now, Sarah Jenkins, a valiant comeback effort from your team there down the stretch. You got yourselves as close as 6. What went wrong in that first half, and then what were you able to do to get back into it at least late?
It's very disappointing how we're performing right now. And we weren't ready to play in the first half, and we just didn't show up. We didn't do anything that we practiced. We didn't execute the scout. And, we created a 20-point deficit for ourselves in the first half. And it doesn't matter who we play. The effort we put forth in the first half is not acceptable. And I've got to take ownership for that. I'm the head coach, and I've got to figure out how to get these girls to do the things we're asking them to do.
In the offensive sets, there were times in the game where it looked like players wanted to attack, but would kind of get stuck, would take a couple dribbles and seem a little bit indecisive. But in the fourth quarter, we're going straight to the rim, attacking, getting to the free throw line. What's kind of the difference there in the one scenario and the other?
I don't know. If I knew, I'd be up. We wouldn't be 6-12. I don't know. We're working every day, and we're trying to get them to play at their best every day. And I think sometimes we just check out in the first half. I mean, we had 12 turnovers in the first half. We had 5 turnovers in the second half. And that is our focus and us being locked into what we're supposed to do. And until we figure out, that we are a good basketball team when we decide to play. And that's the discouraging part, is because we could be really good, and I watch them every game. We do this every game. And so as a coaching staff, we've got to go back to the drawing board, and we've got to figure out how to get them to execute at a high level often. And we're not there yet.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.
Sarah Jenkins, the head coach of the Hens. You can hear the frustration in her voice. That'll do it for us on FloHoops. If you're listening on the radio, stay tuned. Post-game show comes up next. Delaware falls 73-66, the final.